have to see it.
Yeah, bro, it's playoff
No, it's not.
basketball time.
No, it's
bro.
not.
There's a path, but it's not guaranteed at all, Paul.
It's not a guaranteed path at all.
Nothing is guaranteed for anybody, including the Celtics.
I don't care
Let's really
how
talk
the
about
Celtics look in April. The Celtics have been to the Eastern Conference Finals 5 of the last.
They're
6
perennial
years.
chokers. Jason Tatum not getting it done. He's not getting it done. I'm
He
telling
has
you
the
right
team
now.
Listen, he has the team this year. So if he
telling
doesn't
you
get
right
it done
now.
this year,
When did
if he
they
doesn't
choke?
get it done this year, if he doesn't get it done this year, then there's an indictment. But
When did
with the
they
team
choke?
that he has, I don't know that they actually have choked.
I don't know what choking he's talking about. Perennial choking. They've been to the Eastern
have
Conference Finals
disappointed
5 of the last
consistently.
7 years.
Wait, let's
Yo,
talk
listen,
about it. So that first time
listen.
that he lost, he won against LeBron, which was arguably the first or second best version of that 2018 LeBron. Murdered a
Yes.
lot of people.
Arguably the best.
Yes.
version. Arguably,
Arguably the best version I've ever. Sometimes I watch that man's time.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Yes.
That was the best version of LeBron.
Yes.
Okay. Who else has he lost against? Like, true. Then he lost to Kawhi Leonard. Are you kidding? The best version of Kawhi Leonard. Like, look who was taking him
He
out.
didn't even lose to Kawhi Leonard.
Oh no, he didn't. You're right. You're right. So who are these teams that? And he's made it to the finals also, Paul. So where we he choked
against the Miami Heat. He turned his
Miami
ankle in
Heat
Game 7 in the first quarter, and he was on his way to 50. He was literally on his way to 50.
And by the way, we're talking about Himmy Butler,
Turnover
bro.
machine
Himmy
in
Butler,
the finals
that man.
against the Warriors. Turnover machine. What else?
We're talking about the Eastern Conference Finals.
He lost.
Were they up on the Sixers? They won that series, but they shouldn't have even let the Sixers come back like that.
Now we're talking about what they shouldn't have allowed in winning.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. No. Listen. Wait. No. Let me talk for a second. Let me.
You've been talking this whole time and not making
What
a
we
lot
talking
of sense.
about? Wait, hold on, Andre, hold on. Wait, you've been talking for a second. Hold on. When we talk about championship contending teams, you must nitpick. Nitpicking is important because we talk about the greatest of the
You
greatest.
said choke, though.
Right?
You said the word choke.
Choke.
So you have to
Yeah,
identify the choke.
Wait, Pharaoh. Here's the problem. Hold on. Paul, we didn't give you enough leeway here. What do you mean by choking? Because I know what the three of us mean, but I want to hear what you mean.
Underachieving. Let's change the word choke. Underachieve.
Okay.
Underachieve.
That's still
Yes,
wrong.
they underachieved.
All right,
Yes.
look, on
That's
that,
still wrong.
where was the underachievement?
Where was the underachieving?
Who were they supposed to beat that they didn't beat?
They didn't even compete against the Warriors. The fact that they went to Game 7 against the Sixers.
Supposed to? Were they?
No, Pharaoh,
No.
they were coming. They were
Thank you.
projected to come out of
What are we
that finals.
talking about?
Dynasty Warriors? Are we?
It wasn't no dynasty.
No. I agree with you. I think it was
They
stupid.
took
but
them 6 games. They took them 6 games.
It took the Warriors 6 games, and most of the players are playing out their mind on the Warriors.
Yes, that's
What
a
are y'all
fact.
talking about?
No,
What
no,
are you
no,
like?
no.
What
I'm
are we?
not-
what are we talking-
Wait a second.
They didn't
I'm just
compete.
telling
They
you.
took them 6
I'm
games.
just telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not saying they didn't compete. I'm telling you. All the analytics going into the finals said the Celtics were going. I think it was like 87-1.
And that's
Like
why
now,
analytics are wrong.
right now.
And that's why analytics are wrong.
That's correct. I know.
That's
but
why
I'm just
Jason
saying.
Tatum don't get it done. He's had enough to get it done. Let's not act like he hasn't had enough to get it done.
I don't know about that, bro. I've told you
He's
my
had
stance
enough to
before.
get it done.
Which, by the way, we didn't get to mine around the league. We didn't get to
That's
mine
not
around the
right.
league, but all I'm gonna say is this:
out, you will never convince me that they were supposed to beat that Warriors team, and
I
they,
don't believe it.
and they took them 6 games. So every other time they've lost in the conference finals, mind you, it was understandable. They lost to Jimmy Butler twice. They lost to Jimmy Butler 3 times. He does that. He goes to the finals. That's what he does. And they lost to LeBron.
Gosh. Why doesn't Jason Tatum do that?
Because he's
Wait,
26.
what kind of excuse
Because
is
he's
that?
26. He's 26.
Is he 21?
Hold on, isn't it 2 times?
3.
What are we talking
What's the
about,
third?
man? No, I'm not hearing that. No more Jason Tatum.
Oh no,
What's the
twice.
third? Twice. That's what I'm saying. Twice. So it's
I'm
twice,
not
and
hearing
then
no more Jason
the
Tatum.
best version of
It's
Braun.
not going to the Knicks beating.
Then they make it to the
Knicks are beating
finals.
the Celtics. Please, man. And let me talk about this last game. This last game, they were double teaming. They were throwing the kitchen sink at Jalen Brunson. Let's not act like they weren't trying. They stopped trying in the third quarter when it's almost too late. That's when they stopped trying. Let's not act like they weren't trying the whole game. I'm not hearing it.
So the whole second half.
Yeah, because we got them out of here basically by the beginning of the third.
Bro,
it was already on that path.
You know that's not happening in the playoffs.
They packed it in for the entire second half, but you don't want us to think that they did not care.
No, they did. You can't say that because if it was competitive, they would have done that. But they couldn't keep it competitive in the first half when they were trying.
They saw the vibes and they said,
Alan,
we got to keep everybody healthy.
I'm asking Alan, how many games in today's NBA stay within 5 to 10 points wire to wire?
I never said 5 to 10 points.
Wait.
Like just a percentage, or do most NBA games this year have at some point a 15 to 20 point lead held by one team?
They definitely go by 15, 20 points. And then you should
right. So I don't want to hear that because there was a certain amount of lead. That's
especially
why they quit.
A 3-point shooting team like Boston.
That's regular. In most NBA games, one of the team goes on a run and gets up by 15 to 20, and the other team, if they're good enough, comes back. We see that regularly.
If they're good enough.
Paul,
you think Boston? All right, never mind.
Yeah, Paul,
they got
Holiday.
That lead was insurmountable. Do you think they thought that lead was actually insurmountable, or did they not care to try?
Why do you think the coach took out those starters so early in the third?
Because they didn't care to try.
They gave up.
You can't have this opinion.
Because if the lead was actually like 20 points, they would have stayed in. They would have stayed in. Am I wrong, Alan? Am I wrong?
Oh my god!
Well, I think you're wrong.
You're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. We gotta move, bro.
If it wasn't 20 points and it wasn't like 31, you telling me that they're not staying in that game?
Drew Holiday will violate you.
Not at this point of the season.
31 is not a scary lead in the modern NBA, bro.
Playoff Drew Holiday, who's
31 is not shaking anybody, bro.
Not even.
Let me tell you something, bro.
A blowout where you literally give up because you think you have no chance in the modern NBA is like 40 to 50.
I was gonna say
anything less than that, most teams are going to try to come back.
And some have done it.
For like 35, 31. I'm not hearing that. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing that. For like 35?
Yes.
35?
It's the modern NBA. You're not pulling your starters in the third quarter for no reason, unless you don't care.
They don't care. Listen, they knew they couldn't come back, and they said, you know what? Instead of pushing it, because we have championship aspirations,
come back. They did not.
Hold on. Wait, Pharaoh, let him finish that thought. Let him finish that thought because he'll get there.
They prioritized the long road than that game.
Pharaoh, don't even stop.
Just don't. Say they didn't care about the whole game is incorrect because they had a choice to keep it close, and they couldn't do it because they put them up. And they couldn't.
No, he got it. He's there. He's there. He's there.
He tore up Drew Holiday. He tore up Jason Tatum. He tore up Jalen Brown.
The issue. He stated the rule. He has the
analysis. Hold on. Too many voices at once.
Hold on.
We're going to the finals. We could have shocked the world. Shout out to RJ.
You have to let other voices cut in. We understand.
Y'all been talking, man. I don't know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Listen, this analysis has a B-.
Hold on.
Actually.
Hold on. The question I'm just going to ask is, you think that their decision to play the long game and save themselves for the championship only happened in that halftime locker room and not 2 weeks ago?
What happened 2 weeks ago? When they didn't give up the
when they looked up and realized they had a 14 game lead on the one spot, and literally nothing that happened in the rest of the season would matter.
Let me ask you
literally nothing that happens in the rest of the season matter. You don't think they made a mental shift at that point?
Let me ask you a question. Right?
Actually, Paul, before you do,
why do we ignore? Hold on.
Why is he answering my question?
Why? Listen. The reason they have a heart issue. That's the problem with the Celtics. Shaq and Charles Barkley said something correct about the Celtics. You can't just turn it on and off. We, all of a sudden, because it's the Knicks that they played, that's why this is happening. All of a sudden, we act like teams don't try to go into the playoffs as sharp as they possibly can. We act like teams just all of a sudden give up games. Like they throw a game like they betting on the game or something. No. They tried for the first half, and because we put the clamps on them,
their players in the last week so that they keep healthy. What are you talking about?
Wait, what? What do you say?
What are you talking about?
What?
Teams literally sit players many years once things are clinched so that they're healthy for the playoffs. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody playing. Anyone that's a real contender is playing their hearts out in the last few weeks of the season.
But they're trying to be as sharp as they possibly can, right?
What are you talking about?
So, but they're not trying to go to the playoffs as sharp as they possibly can? That's a thing. That's a thing. Let's not act like I'm talking foolishness. That's a thing in the NBA.
Paul, look at the teams.
They didn't look that sharp.
Look
they
at
didn't
the
look that sharp.
You know who else beat them? You know who else beat them in this month? Atlanta twice. Milwaukee. They probably gonna lose to Washington tomorrow.
And guess what? They're gonna disappoint in the playoffs because they're not sharp. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is not good for them. They're going to lose.
Now you're moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts. No one said it was good or bad for them. We're just pointing out that that's what happened.
So if they disappoint in the look, let me say this, right? If they lose in the second round or something like that,
who's talking about that? We're just
hold on, Farrell. Hold on. If they lose in like the second round or something like that, I don't want when I bring up that they were losing games and dropping games that they should have won at the end of the year. Okay. I don't want people to tell me, they didn't care. They didn't care. Let me they were losing speed. They weren't sharp. Their leadership was not keeping them sharp going into the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
All right, let me ask you a question because I feel like you're making two different type of arguments, but
yes,
I think maybe not. Are you saying the Knicks are going to definitely beat them because they're not sharp or because the Knicks are just that much better than them? Because those are two different arguments.
Okay, the Celtics are more talented and they should beat the Knicks. But what I'm saying is, no, they're not. I'm not hearing that. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing that. The Celtics, I don't care. I don't care. They're more talented. They're not better. We're going to beat them. The Celtics, right, should beat us, but because of the heart of the team, it's not like X's and O's with the Celtics. Although it's a little bit, they take too many threes for me. But outside of that,
agreed.
It's really like a heart issue with them. That's why they disappoint consistently in the play. This is why they play with their food in the playoffs. That's why they gave up. That this should not have been a game 7 against the Sixers.
With two Hall of Famers on that team, there shouldn't have been a game 7.
But
and a third player who's an all-star this year. We acted like the 76ers were chums. The 76ers had two Hall of Famers and an all-star on that team. What are we talking about?
What was the lead they have over them? They had over them.
Oh my god!
What?
So the
Warriors
should have beat the Cavs. The Warriors should have beat the Cavs.
Wait, no, answer my question.
The Warriors should have beat the Cavs over them, right?
What was the lead they had over them?
You talking about the playoff lead?
Stephen Curry was injured apparently, right? Isn't that why they became significantly less? And then wasn't one of their most important players, Draymond, out of the game? We're not talking about that situation with the Sixers and the Celtics. That's not what happened. It's literally a heart issue with them. They got no dog in them as a team.
I don't know that that's true.
You can't.
I can't say that's true.
I don't want Celtics fan, but I'm
Drew Holiday, Derek White.
I can't say that when the team has gone to it's ran this conference.
That's a fact, bro.
I agree with that.
Running that don't mean that means they're talented and they just got more talented this year. That's all that means.
What do you agree with, Alan?
But Farrell just said they've been running the Eastern Conference. I don't think it's a dog issue with them.
There's zero dog issue.
They've been there 5 of the last 7? 5 of the last 6.
I don't know.
Last year the Heat got to the finals. The year before,
no, it's 5 of the last 7.
The Celtics.
If anything, I could give you the Heat one. If anything, but like other than that,
which one? 2020.
This past
or last year,
because they went down 3-0 against the Heat.
If anything, got hurt in the first quarter of Game 7.
You know what I'm saying? But they went down 3-0. So I'm saying,
thank you. Let's stop making excuses for this team, man.
If anything, I can give you that one. But other than that, like I can't think of
no excuses. None. I'm done with the excuses with Jason Tatum, man. And Jaylen Brown. Let's talk about Jaylen Brown too.
So the Heat are bums.
They're not the Celtics. The Celtics are more talented.
So it's either Uchiwali or it's one Mike. Either the Celtics are better than people or they're not. You can't have it both ways. You can't look at it. You can't look at how they compete against other people and say that that's underachieving because they're better, but then use that as an argument to say they're not better. That makes no sense.
Because you want to put the word better in my mouth. I'm saying they're talented. Whoa. All right. They're more talented. They're more talented than everybody in the NBA, even maybe the Nuggets too. Right now.
This year, maybe. I don't know if that's true years prior.
It's not. It's not. This year, maybe.
This year is the first year where their talent is actually head and shoulders above the rest of the league.
Head and shoulders.
These past years,
and it's not really close.
The Marcus Smart version of the Celtics, bro, was not some supremely overly talented team. They didn't have KP. They didn't have Drew. It was just Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard, and Al Horford, bro. And Robert Williams was hurt almost every time.
Every year.
Like, what are we talking about, man? Like
I still believe they lost some less talented teams, though, and I think that's not going to end this year
due to injuries.
I can argue that almost every time. I don't know if they were way more talented than that Heat team last year.
Man, oh my gosh!
Did they have a Caleb Martin? Did they have a Caleb Martin? Because he had Jimmy and Bam, and then a Caleb Martin going up for 20 a game.
Don't forget about Gabe Vincent. Don't forget about Gabe Vincent.
Name the third player on the Celtics that could give you 20 on a given night.
You're telling me the Heat were just
name him. Name the player.
Wait, what?
Name the player on the Celtics that could give you 20 on a given night.
Marcus Smart could give you 20.
Consistently? Consistently?
Are we talking about consistently? Or talking about one game?
Consistently? They're not doing it consistently right now.
But that year,
Caleb Martin was
getting 20 a game with regularity.
The Heat got dogs. That's why they put up those numbers. They got focus. The Celtics don't got dogs. That's the problem. It's not that the Heat were just as talented. Let's not act like the Heat were just as talented as the Celtics. The Celtics were more talented.
I just got dogs now. I just got dogs.
They got dogs now, dog.
Oh, wait. I have a quick question. So between Marcus Smart and Caleb Martin, you're telling me Caleb Martin is the dog and Marcus Smart is the more talented player?
I'm saying it comes from the leadership of the Celtics. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, stop evading the question, bro. You gave me tight. You gave me mad tight.
No.
You're making no sense. That's the only reason I'm harping on this. This argument is infuriating. It makes no sense, yo.
It's the facts. It's the facts. We don't like to talk about intangibles.
They were
all right, who y'all got for MVP? Who y'all got? I'm sorry.
I have a document pulled up. I'm gonna get to it. But I need to like. How could we haven't yelled in a couple weeks? I'm ready to yell today.
We yell every week. What are you saying?
No, we don't. And Paul came with energy this week, so I'm matching him because he's not gonna just come in here and yell. He's not gonna just come in here and yell and go crazy and say a bunch of wild takes on his platform and not.
It's not wild. It's a fact. Let's go to the finals.
You don't make sense. You don't make sense. I'm sorry. The words that you're saying that are coming out of your mouth make zero sense.
Because when we analyze the Celtics who are a contender going into the playoffs, we have to have integrity as a pod. So I want to set us up for how we're going to talk about the Celtics. This is clearly a way more talented Celtics team than they had in any of the years they went to the conference.
Absolutely.
And in those years they went to the conference finals, they were not at any premium of talent over. And I would say the Nuggets were clearly more talented than them. I would say the Warriors, the year they went against them, were clearly more talented than them.
They were clearly more talented than the Heat. I'm not hearing anything else.
I don't know if you have to tell me the players that were more talented. Like, you can't just say that.
They had three players on the Celtics who could do it. They had 5 players on the Miami Heat who
I'm not jacking 3 players on the Celtics. They had 2 really good players and a bunch of good defensive role players. I'm sorry. There's a reason they traded Marcus Smart. There's a reason.
You don't go ahead and go get Drew Holiday, who is, by the way, the most slept-on two-way player
to get more talent.
An NBA champion. Come on, the Bucks messed up, bro. The Bucks. What?
Pritchard. What's his name? Maybe.
He's talented.
He was barely playing.
He's all right, but he's not. Listen.
Bro, you had Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, Bam, Caleb Martin. Like,
people forget about Kevin Love. Kevin Love.
Like, what are we talking about? They were
Grant Williams, Derek White, Marcus Smart,
Grant Williams, who also had to get traded.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon, was he on that team last year?
Yeah,
I'm looking at the roster right now.
I think he was injured.
I'm looking at the roster right now.
He didn't play, bro.
I think Malcolm was injured.
He didn't play. He literally did not play. Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, who got a max contract from the Cavs.
If you're talking about Max Strus, I'm going to talk about Peyton Pritchard. If you're talking about Max Strus, they're a catch and shoot guy.
He did not play. He
Peyton
did not
Pritchard
play. No, he did not play.
All right, Derek White. They got players on that team, man.
Derek White was good. They
got players on that team. If we're going to talk about catch and shoot guys, yes, the Celtics had those type of guys too. But if we're going to talk about guys that got their old offense, I'm trying to tell you, Caleb Martin, that he was like the X factor because nobody expected that, and he hasn't been doing it like that this year. Because he was just focused.
So what? We're talking about the year that happened. We're talking about the year that happened, bro.
Down from Jimmy Butler down.
So name the player on the Celtics that should have been doing what Caleb Martin was doing.
Listen,
I'm listening. Name him. Who was the super talented role player they had that underachieved?
As a matter of fact, wasn't Derek White earn his minutes? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Derek White, did he not earn his minutes doing what Caleb Martin was doing? Yeah, you forgot. Derek White, Marcus Smart got traded because they looked at Derek White and said, you know what? I think we're pretty good with Derek White on both ends of the floor.
Because they said Derek White needs a bigger role.
Because of what he was doing.
Yes, but he wasn't doing it at the level he's doing it now because who had the minutes? Marcus Smart.
Right. But he showed he was taking minutes away from Marcus Smart in the playoffs last year. Was he not?
Yeah.
I don't understand how you're arguing against what I'm saying.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, no, am I bugging? Do y'all hear an argument in what he's saying? We're talking about who had the more talented team and whether the Celtics had a way more talented roster. And he keeps pointing out players that they moved away so that those players could flourish, meaning those players were not in full position last year. They were less talented players getting more minutes.
They showed off in the playoffs, which is why they believe that they could roll with those guys going forward this year.
So you're saying less talent. There were players that ended up that demonstrated they were less talented, right?
No, I'm saying there's players that demonstrated they were more talented, which is why they got rid of the guys that they.
There are players that demonstrate that they're more.
Stay right there. What you just said is Ferris' whole point. The less talented guys were the ones actually playing.
They took minutes from those guys, though. That's why they're here now.
Okay, no.
Yes, that's why they're here now. Back then, the less
Marcus Smart was not getting on the court as much as he should. Arguably,
move forward.
Derek White was literally taking minutes away from Marcus Smart. Andre, was Derek White not taking away minutes from Marcus Smart on the court?
That's not the same.
He started taking, but like what Ferris trying to tell you. But what Ferris trying to tell you is
that's evidence.
Was the one primarily playing. So therefore, Celtics had the less talented team on the floor.
You can't argue because there was a talented player that began to start getting minutes in the playoffs because they realized he was good and they were a more talented team. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I said take away minutes. He started playing heavier minutes in the playoffs than he did all year. I said take away. That you can't ignore that. Take away minutes. Meaning that he was he playing as many because it matters because you're acting like Marcus Smart was holding him back. I'm saying no. Derek White was playing more than him at a certain point,
which is why they came back in the series. To my point. So you want to blame? You want to say that going down 0-3, they were the more talented team, but when they started actually playing their talented players, they came back.
I don't think that's the reason they came back, but I gotta look back at the series.
I
gotta look back at the series and confirm. I gotta look back at the series to confirm because that seems like a convenient point. But from what I saw, from what I remember, I don't think that's what happened. But go ahead.
I know.
Anywho,